Again, in the spirit of doing some behind the scenes, because I'm not doing vlogs every day, I'm about to film my buys and buys, so they're the things that I bought. Technically, I bought this little guy too. This is basically my setup. So this is, I just tree ball. This is what I do. I put the camera there. I have this little dinky coffee table from IKEA and this stupid little, like, I don't know what it is. It's sort of like a stool. I need to get rid of this. I've been talking about this for ages, that I need to buy a proper, like, coffee table and, like, rug. Someday that will happen. But yeah, this is what you see. I sit right there. There's the background with some decorations. I need to finish putting up my decorations. But yeah, that's my super not exciting crappy setup. Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is my monthly buys and buys video. So I've been doing this series all year, and basically what I'm doing is combining a monthly haul, so all the things I bought in the past month, with my monthly empties, so all the things I finished up in the last month. I'm also using that as sort of like a budget guideline, so whatever the value of the empties were for the previous month becomes my budget for the next month, to sort of like balance what's coming in versus what's going out. We threw that out the window for the month of November. I talked about that in my previous video, that I'm just gonna buy some stuff. I am going on a no-buy next year. I keep saying this. I've been saying this for the past month or so. I'm definitely doing a no-buy, at least for the first 6 months, and it's gonna be like a no-buy for all the things. Like, no clothes, no house stuff. Like, I really just wanna keep it, like, no makeup, no skincare, no nail polish, for 6 months and see how that goes. I will buy like replacement items if I need to. The only category that I can think of that might happen is probably skincare. So let's get started on the buys. So I'm gonna probably whip through this pretty quickly because the majority of this is, I've already talked about this in my Sephora haul. So I don't wanna like repeat myself, but I just will skim through the products as quickly as possible. So the first thing I purchased this past month, sorry it's reflecting, is the Laneige. I think this was like called Midnight something kit. Midnight Minis. I've already, like, yes, this is back in the box, but I've already opened this and I've already tried this one. Yeah, I like that guy. So that's probably gonna be the first one that I go to. I see why people like is it the gummy one? Because it's pretty strong, like compared to the others. The scent on that one is definitely stronger. I bought the duo of the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I think people have asked this before and I wasn't sure about it. These are full size, so I do have one already open that I've started using, but they do come, I mean, if you did want to gift this, you could separate them. They come individually boxed. I don't know if this is still available, but it was the last time I checked. But yeah, these are full size, so it's like, what, 118 milliliters? It's your standard all-nighter spray. I also do want to apologize that I look exactly the same as I did in the Get Ready With Me video, which I don't know which is going up in what order, but I did a video doing this look. I normally don't do that. I normally try and at least do some variety with my videos, but I'm trying to do a video every single day, so it's a lot of work, and we're just gonna have to go with same today. My lip color is different. I did throw in a different lip color because I wasn't so keen on what I chose in that video. Anyway, moving on. Caviar Anti-Aging Shampoo. I really like this shampoo. I don't know if I'll buy it again. It's like my favorite, but it's so expensive. Fresh lip balm set. So these are all minis, and the scents are Sugar Advanced Therapy, that's their basic one, or flavor, I don't know, scent flavor. Sugar Honey, Sugar Rosé, Sugar Petal, and Sugar Mint Rush. Again, this is back inside the packaging just to kind of keep it all together for this video, but I have already opened this and I've tried the Mint Rush one. I quite like that one, so I'm excited to use that. The Super Goop Unseen Sunscreen. Again, this is it in the box. It's really white, so the camera is having a hard time seeing that. Just a little mini guy. I purchased this because I haven't tried it yet, so I did want to pick this up. I had to take a quick pause there because I had to go grab a couple items that are in my bathroom. So the first one is the Fab Ultra Repair Cream. This is the daily moisturizer that I bought. This guy is like way bigger than the Belief one that I like, and the Kiehl's one, and the Inky List. So this one's gonna last me forever because I feel like I don't need to use a lot of it. Downside, I feel like Actually, I shouldn't say I feel like. I know this is pilling with something else in my skincare, and I don't know exactly what that is. It's not doing it every time, so I need to figure out what the reaction is. Who's causing the pilling? Is it this on its own? Maybe I should just try and put this on its own and see what happens. But yeah, so I need to figure that out. But I feel like I don't need a lot of this, and so it's really good that I did buy this going into a no-buy, because this is going to last me a really long time. And then the other thing I picked up was this Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Extra Strength Daily Peel. I didn't mean to buy the extra strength, meant to buy the normal one, but I buy this all the time. This is a regular purchase for me, and something I always recommend to people. I got a couple of samples with that, so I did get a sample for the Belief True Balm, and then this one, I can get it out here, it's the Killian, Love by Killian, Don't Be Shy, which I haven't tried this yet. Notes are neroli, orange blossom, and marshmallow. I probably should like this. It says, a scent as sweet as a Turkish delight. So that was the first Sephora order. The second Sephora order, well, it was an in-store purchase, was this particular guy. Again, I'll put a picture on the screen. I bought the kit, like the perfume kit, the vanilla one. It had 5 samples in it, which I've got in here. So we've got the Skylar Vanilla Sky. Sorry, I'm just going to rush through this because I've already talked about these. This was the one that came in it, or the one that I picked, the Nest Madagascar Vanilla, Floral Street Wild Vanilla Orchid. Oh, and the other one, oh yeah, it's here. Dolce by Rosie Jane. And then this one's the Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes. So those were the 5 fragrances, and that's the one I picked, was the Nest Vanilla, Madagascar Vanilla. It's not as strong as I had hoped. Like, I feel like it's pretty subtle. I kind of keep reapplying it. Maybe I'm just like getting used to the scent of it, and I feel like I need to like reapply it. And I bet you if I like went out to other people, they'd be like, oh no, we smell it. But I feel like it's a pretty subtle scent for me anyway, which is not a bad thing for a daily wear. I picked that up when I was in Florida. A couple of things about Florida that I didn't talk about in any video so far. I took this from the bathroom at Art of Animation. Anybody else do this? So this is the H2O soap. This was the soap. There was 2 of them in the bathroom, so I kept one and I used one. It's just the facial soap. I didn't use it on my face. I used it like as a hand soap. But apparently that H2O brand is going away. I don't know if it's a Disney-owned brand. No, it just says made for Disney, distributed by H2O Plus. Apparently they're going out of business. It's made in Indonesia. Apparently they're going out of business. So I didn't really care for their products. I liked the body wash, but the shampoo and conditioner I didn't really like. They weren't, the shampoo didn't clean enough, and then the conditioner wasn't moisturizing enough. That makes sense. And then I did stop into Basin at Disney Springs, and of course I had to pick something up. I've never been in a Basin store. I don't know where else they are, but I had to pick up a couple things. So the first thing I picked up was this soap. It just says Mickey on it. I have no idea like what the scent is, like the flavor or profile. It's just a bit fruity. It's like a soft, powdery, fruity scent. It was kind of nice. There was a bunch of different ones, but I mostly bought this for the design. It has like little Mickeys, and then it's like iridescent. That was what it was called. It was an iridescent Mickey, at least on the receipt. And then the other thing I picked up were these, they call these bath marbles. They're like mini bath bombs. I don't know what scents I got. I think this one's watermelon. One is mango, I think. I'm not 100% sure the scents that I got. I have a little card, and you can kind of match up what the scents are based on the card, but it's a little difficult. I should have wrote it down. But yeah, you get 6 in this little thing. These cost, in total, this was $21.42, and they were almost the same price. This was like $7.50 US, and this was $7 US. So they both worked out to be about $10, $11 each. Not a bad price, I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot pricier than what it was. But yeah, I haven't tried any of these yet, but I did purchase those when I was in Disney. And then I did make a second Sephora order online when they had like their 50% off sale, mainly because of this. So this is the Born This Way, Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes palette. I still haven't actually used this. Oh, it got really dark. I still haven't actually used this on my eyes. I have swatched it because I filmed my Pan That Palette video and my palette roulette video, but I actually haven't tried this yet. I don't know why. I really like the Natural Lust palette, and I've been wanting to use like cool tones, so that's why I've been not using this yet. It's one of those things, like, I'm like, it's so pristine, I don't want to use it just yet, but I will definitely use this coming week. So looking forward to playing with that. And when I placed my first Sephora order, I think it was still in stock, it might not have been in stock, was the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Set, and I kind of was okay not buying it because I was trying to be pretty practical. And then when I was in Florida, I was like, you know what, if I see it here, I will buy it. Actually, it must have been out of stock. So it was kind of like a blessing in disguise at the time. It was out of stock, and so I didn't get it in my first Sephora order. And then when I was in Disney Springs, the girl was really nice there. She went to go look for it, and she even like went through the drawer, and there was no kits left. And then when I was going to order that palette, I ordered it because it was 50% off. The kit was back in stock, so I bought it. And I've kept 2 items from that. 2 of them are in, like, with the giveaway stuff. But the 2 that I have kept was the Maracuja Juicy Lip in Ginger, and then the Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump in Cherry Blossom. And I prefer the plump version. So I'm glad I've tried both of them, just to kind of compare them. They're both very, very similar. The plump one just has that, like, cooling effect. I don't know if it's plumping or not. Very much like Buxom lip glosses. So if you like a Buxom lip gloss with that, like, minty plumpiness, that's what this feels like. So I definitely enjoy this. I like this one too, it's just fine, but this one's the one I prefer a little bit more. I like the color of both of them as well. I guess I can swatch these, considering I've used both of them so far. The regular one has more pigment, at least in this shade. The top one is Ginger, and that's the regular one, and then the bottom one is Cherry Blossom, and that's the plumping one. Like I said, I like both of them. They're both quite nice. And then when I placed that order, I was able to do a coupon or like a code, and this is what I was able to add on. There was a couple of samples too that I've already put those in the giveaway as well. They weren't samples that I picked. One is like the Laura Mercier powder, which I already have. And then I forget what the other one was, but it's like, I can let somebody else try those because I've tried. They were both things that I've used. And this is something, again, that I've used before. This is the Living Proof full shampoo and full conditioner. I actually like the... I don't know, it's the one in the purple thing. I should just take this in the bag. Why am I doing that? Let's be professional here. So these guys, they're really good, like sample size. Again, it was like a code that I was able to put in and get this. So yeah, I like these, and again, these will be great if and when I do a bit of traveling next year, hopefully. So that is everything on the buy side. So if we look at numbers, this is November just like blew everything out of the water. I brought in 29 items. I spent $386.49 and a retail value of $468.92. That is way higher. The next highest month I have was February at 179. So I pretty much doubled what I spent in any previous month. My total though for the year is still less than the past 2 years. So I feel like that's good. I don't know about number of items. I feel like number of items. Oh yeah, we're pretty close on number of items. Actually 2 years ago, yeah, we're about the same 2 years ago. So number of items were not great, but price-wise, we're a little bit better. And if we just talk about budget, because we're just going to talk about it even though it's kind of ridiculous at this point. My November budget was supposed to be $54.72. I spent $386.49, so I'm in the hole, $331.77. Like I said, this part, we've kind of let this bit go. This has been on purpose. It's fine. So now let's go into the Empties side. It's fairly impossible for me to match that on the buy side. I actually have had a really good month on my Empties side. So as I do this, I sometimes include other items, so things that I finished but I just want to talk about but have nothing to do with usually beauty. Declutter items, so things that I've just decided to declutter. They don't really count towards that budget value or the numbers of empties, and then the actual empties. So let's talk about other items first. If you watched my vlogs, I think I've talked about this, that this was like almost done. I literally lit that and it lasted maybe 5 minutes in that video. So this is the Bath & Body Works Spiced Apple Toddy. So even though I brought in what, 6 candles? I did finish one. So, you know, the balance is not so bad. And I was noticing like a couple of the candles that I have are actually a lot closer to being done than I realized. So, which I'm kind of sad about because there were ones that I really like. And that's the hard part. It's like you want to buy new ones to have some different scents, but then it's like I'm finishing up this one because I love it so much and I want one ready to light so I can finish that one up. You can't win. I also have one declutter, and this is the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer Perfecting Base. This makes me really sad. This is like almost full. I bought this, I think in March. The little sticker's fallen off. I think it was in March of last year. I tried using this. So I've been kind of playing with a bunch of different primers because I've finished up a few. I'm just kind of going through some minis. And I was like, I want to see if I can get this to work. When I first bought this, I didn't really like it. It says shake well before use. It's sort of got like 2 parts to it. I tried this multiple times and I had to take off my makeup multiple times. I don't know if it's, again, something with my skincare or the foundations. I used a couple different foundations, but this pilled every single time, like badly. And it's not the moisturizer because I don't use, at least right now, I haven't been using the Fab moisturizer during the day. I use that at night. So it was definitely this. And I was just so angry that I had to like redo my makeup multiple days because of this. I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. It is not worth me trying to figure out how to use this. I bought this at Winners, so it's already kind of older. Becca is gone, so it's not a product that I'm going to give to somebody else or like, you know, put online. I still haven't done that yet. I think I have a Poshmark account, but I've never done that, like putting makeup online to sell. I don't really know how to do that very well, so I just don't. But yeah, this is a sad declutter because I never really got the use out of this that I would have hoped, but I'm also like glad to get rid of this because it just annoys the crap out of me. So goodbye. You suck. Okay, some more skincare items here. So now we're going to get into the empties and we're going to talk about skincare items. So the first thing that's on top here, I'll get this out of the way, is the Life Brand Foot Mask. This is the exfoliating one. The scent on this one is like lime, caviar, and citrus extracts. It definitely smelled like I had some like margaritas going on in my bathroom when I threw these out. Like the scent of this is really strong. This stuff works though. Like my feet, so I did this about a week ago. My feet are just peeling like crazy. The annoying part is parts of my skin, like the top of my foot are peeling, and I'm like, I don't need that part to peel, but I guess it needs to because this has peeled it. But like it's really the bottom of my feet and like my heels. I hate my skin and my feet are pretty dry and I try and put moisturizer on it, but I hate going into bed and like for example, your heel has a part on it that's so scratchy that it's like catching on the blankets or the sheets, and like, oh, I hate that so much. So that's why I like to use one of these. I'm glad I use this after Disney so people can't see my feet, and like after summertime, if you're gonna use one of these, give yourself buffer. Like don't do it like a week before your wedding or something like that, because yeah, you need a bit more time to get it to work, but definitely works. I've purchased this before and I will purchase it again. This is the Skin, what is it, Skin? I don't know how you say the name, but it's like Skin 1004, or Skin 1004, or Skin 10004. I say too many zeros there. This is the Madagascar Centella Ampule. It's like a little serum. I don't know if this did enough for me. It's a nice little package. It's a plastic bottle, little dropper. It was very thin. You can kind of see there's still some product in there that I keep trying to get out. I can maybe try and get that out. Centella is supposed to be helpful for like redness. I feel like all my other skincare is working really well for my skin, so I don't know if this was necessary. I don't know if it did anything. So I'm not going to repurchase this anytime soon. But I feel like if I'm having a redness in my skin, I would consider maybe buying a Centella product again and seeing. Maybe not particularly this one. I bought this one because it was affordable and it was one of the ones that popped up on Stylevana, like near the top. But yeah, like it was okay. I just don't know if it did anything. This guy is wrapped funnily because the lid broke, but I still wanted to keep using the product. So I kept this actually at my family home and I was using it up there. It is the Cocoa Kind Texture Smoothing Cream with Celery Super Seed Complex, plumping and retexturing for bright, youthful skin. I enjoyed this. It's just a moisturizer, but I purposely had this at home because I've talked about when my skin is in the sun, I have issues where all of a sudden it starts getting like red and textury. I don't know if it's like eczema, if it's rosacea, it's something. If you're watching my vlogs, I talk about my skin doesn't look great. It's not in the last hotel, because I stayed in a different hotel for the last night. I was like, oh, my skin doesn't look great in the mirror. And I was like, oh yeah, like afterwards, I'm like, it has nothing to do with the mirror making my skin look bad. My skin's looking bad because I was out in the sun quite a bit in Hollywood studios, because there's like no shade in Hollywood studios, and that day it was like blistering hot. So like my skin gets like red and textury, so I was kind of using this to try and help combat that. Did it help a little bit? Maybe. But it was a nice feeling moisturizer. It felt nice to put it on my skin when my skin is like angry like that. I would consider purchasing this again. I don't know how expensive this is. I know Cocoa Kind, I think I can get it at Shoppers Drug Mart. Maybe at Walmart as well. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I would consider purchasing this. Like I said, I don't know how much it is, so if it's like too expensive, maybe not. But I enjoyed it, so I definitely would look at getting that again. I have a couple little like sample packs here. So this first one is a YSL Pure Shots Hydra Bounce Lotion Essence. This sample was so small that I don't think it did anything for me. Like I couldn't tell you if I liked it or not. It was fine. There was no adverse effects. Then I have these two samples from Olay. I think I got these in the mail. One was the Olay Regenerist Retinol 24 Night Serum, and one is the Night Moisturizer. I don't know if there's a difference in these products other than just vehicle. Like I don't know if the retinol strength is different. But interestingly enough, I found that the serum kind of stung my skin a little bit. So I preferred the moisturizer over the serum for that fact. But again, they were like, I think I got like one use out of each, maybe 2 uses out of each. So not enough to know if it's effective, but if I had to pick a product, like I didn't mind the way this felt. It was a nice moisturizer. And again, I'm not a big retinol person though, because I feel like retinol on my skin, it just doesn't work. Like my skin just looks dry and older, and it never gets past that. That is all the skincare. I have one nail polish, yay! So this is a bit of a spoiler, I guess, for my nail polish videos, but I did finally finish this guy. This is the Julep Polish in Alexandra. There was like one use out of this, barely. Like I did one coat on all of my nails. I couldn't even get a second coat. There was barely anything left on this, so it's done. I'm happy this is done. The color was a bit weird. It's like an off-white color. So I was glad to just finish that up and get it out of the collection. And everything else here is makeup items. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about all of these in my project pan. So I'll just kind of go in order of how I do my makeup. The first is the Professional Super Setter Spray. I didn't really care for this. It was fine. I don't know how well it works compared to All Nighter. I didn't save enough of it to compare and test. Like a ding dong. When it gets near the bottom, it gets pretty spluttery, and you kind of get splotchies on your faces, splotchies on your faces. But yeah, it was fine, but I don't think I would repurchase this one. I finished the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, so I finished the luminous one as well. I prefer the regular one over the luminous one, I think, just for effect of how I want this primer to work. This one's just a little bit thicker. I felt the luminous one was just a bit thinner and sheer. And for me, this is supposed to be like you sort of pat it in to like fill in the pores and blur a little bit. I've talked about this though. I would consider buying this in a full size. I think I like this just as much as I like the Professional. So like the OG product that this is based off of. I think I like this just as much as that, and this is way more affordable than that. So I think I would repurchase that in the full size. I finished up a whole foundation, and I really finished this up. Like I scraped, like you can see at the bottom there, I scraped this, where are we? Yeah, like I scraped this as much as possible. I took the lid off, scraped it down. Yeah, you can see on the side there, empty, empty, empty. And I've talked about this. I like this foundation. I will repurchase this foundation. I wish I could get a shade that was a little bit better for me. Like this shade works really, really well for me. It's Rose Vanilla and 435, but it's like a hair dark for me, like right now, November. But say like, I would say from like May through October, it totally works for me. Concealer, this is a repurchase for me, and I will repurchase this again, but I will probably purchase a different one. This is in the light shade. It's the Age Rewind from Maybelline, and I think I prefer the brightening shade a little bit better. I've talked about this, that I think this is just a happy medium concealer, and that's why it's so popular. It's got a decent amount of coverage without being like super coverage or not enough, and like a decent mid-tone or mid-range texture. So it's not too thick, it's not too thin. I think it's just like that happy medium, and it's not too dry, it's not too like slippy. Like it's just the happy medium of concealers. I think that's why this one's so popular. And then I finished up an eyeliner. So the last thing to talk about was my eyeliner. This is the Clio Noir eyeliner. Again, who is this brand? Who is she? I don't know, but it's done. This came in a top box. So it's done. Didn't like this eyeliner. Looked really nice when it went on. Super black, super creamy. Never dried down, so it just like went everywhere. Did not stay where it should have stayed. So those are my empties. So pretty good empties, I feel like. So if we look at my November empties, I finished up 11 items in total with a paid value of $74.32 or retail value of $127.50. Some of that's a bit guesswork, but that's approximate. So pretty good, I think, on the empty side. And like a lot of makeup items, there was like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 makeup items, 5 makeup empties. Granted, one of them is 2 are minis, but still, I feel pretty happy about that. So again, if we kind of look at the budget, we were in the hole. Negative $331.77. November empties value is, oh, that's not the right number. What number did I put there? $74.32. So we're in the hole. December budget is negative $257.45. Again, we're kind of throwing that out the window. December is going to be a month where I'm going to try, I keep saying I'm going to do this, I still have not used my Shoppers Drug Mart gift card, so I do want to do that, and I probably will do a Bath & Body Works purchase to stock up on some pretty much body creams. That's like the primary thing I want to stock up on. Maybe a couple body washes, maybe a couple lotions, that might be it. I'm not big on the lotions there, but I wouldn't mind having one or two. But yeah, no sprays. I don't think I need any body sprays. I don't think I need, what else do they have there? I think that's fine. Mostly body cream. That's really like, I like the body creams and I do go through them. I actually have one that's like almost done that will be in my December empties. Maybe have another one that might go in the December empties. I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, like let me put the balance of the November buys, purchases with the November goodbyes, the November empties. Not a bad month, even though the like, obviously the spend in November and the number of items that I brought in. I shouldn't say not a bad month. It was expected. I'm actually pretty happy with the empty side. I feel like the empty side is pretty good, so I feel like that's why it's not a bad month. I knew the buy side was going to be like a whole lot. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this series. I'm going to be doing something completely different next year. I'm probably going to do the video like a buys and buys. Or maybe just I'll call it the budget video for next year, because it's really going to be more about the good buys, because I'm still going to track my empties for next year, but there should be pretty much nothing on the buy side. That's the goal, at least for 6 months, and then we'll see how that goes after the first 6 months. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.